Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to IYS online teaching. This is me, today's host of maths meeting of class 9th and 10th. Before starting the actual teaching, it is important to reinforce the general instruction. Don't raise hand during teaching. Ask questions at the end of the session only in chat box. Use hand free if you are using mobile and headphone for computer use. Feed your ID and password properly with your name and class. Take care of time for attending the class. Home task should be done in your fair copy of the subject as per teacher instruction. If there is any disconnectivity during the teaching, try to join the session again within 5 to 10 minutes. What we will do today, that is class 10th mathematics, and class 9 will also attend the same session. This is unit number 2, system of real number, exercise number 2.1, and textbook pages are page number 26 to 33. Today's topics for the discussions are decimal fractions and properties of the real numbers. Before discussing the decimal fraction, it is important to discuss the real number. What are real number? In chapter number 1, sets, we already gone through that. The real numbers are the universal set of numbers which is consist on all the type of numbers which are exist in the nature. Means all the integers and all the type of fractions including decimal fractions. And now the types of the decimal fractions. Mainly decimal fractions are categorized in 3 types. The first one is terminating decimal fraction. What are terminating decimal fractions? Means those fractions which have the end and the division. Right. It means for that division in which the remainder becomes 0. So that type of decimal fractions are called terminating decimal fractions. The second type is non-terminating but recurring decimal fractions. Non-terminating means the endless, the division is going on. And what does mean by recurring? Recurring means to reoccur. It means the some particular digits or the pair of digits or the groups are going to repeat again and again after the decimal point. Non-terminating and non-recurring decimal fractions are those fractions in which the division is ongoing, it is incompleted, remainder is not 0, and simultaneously there is no particular arrangement of the digits after the decimal point. So that is non-recurring. Terminating decimal fractions. Those type of decimal fractions which have a finite number of digits after the decimal point. Means the division has been completed, the remainder becomes 0 and we can count the digit after the decimal. For example, 3 upon 8, this is 0.375. When you will do this division manually, you will find the remainder become 0. It shows that division has been completed. And how many decimal places in this decimal fraction? There are 3, we can easily count that. Another example of that, that is 10 upon 3. You can do this division. So what you will get? You will get 3.3333. So that is not actually countable. So that's why only those decimal fractions which have the countable decimal digits after the decimal point, they are called terminating decimal fraction. You can see in the remaining example. The next one is 4 digit, then 1 digit, and the last one is having the 5 digit after the decimal. So these all are the examples of terminating decimal fractions. Non-terminating but recurring decimal numbers are those numbers or decimal fractions with a digit or group that repeats forever. Means when you are having the division is going on. We don't have the remainder as 0. But every time after the decimal, either we are having the same digit is going to repeat, pair of digit is going to repeat, or the group of digits are going to repeat in a particular sequence. So recurring decimal numbers are written in a simplified form by placing a bar over that first and last digit that are repeated. For example, in the given case, you can see the number is or the decimal fraction is 5.6474747, which is equals to 5.647 and a bar over that. Why? 4 7 having the bar on this? Because the 4 7 is a pair of digit which is repeating again and again in the same manner. So it is showing that 5.647 and the bar means that division is continue, and 4 7 is the pair of digit which will be comes again and again. Non-terminating, non-recurring decimal numbers. Decimal numbers which neither end nor have a repeating part are called non-terminating, non-recurring decimal numbers. Means when we will do that type of division in which the division is going on, it means the remainder is not 0. Every time we are having something as the remainder, and simultaneously other characteristic is that there is no particular arrangement of the digit after the decimal point. For example, 1.4463456. Here you can see that how many decimal places? There are 7 decimal places. But no one is the particular arrangement of the occurrence of the digit either in the single form or the pair or the group. So every time we are having the different digit after the decimal. So these type of numbers are called non-terminating, non-recurring decimal numbers. Properties of the real numbers with respect to addition and multiplication. As you know, we are discussing the real number. Real numbers are the set of universal set of numbers which is consist on all the types of numbers. They have some special characteristic according to their properties. These properties are closure property, commutative property, associative property, additive identity, multiplicative identity, additive inverse and multiplicative inverse. We will discuss these one by one later on. Now the first one is closure property, and closure property we will discuss in two manners according to addition and according to multiplication. First we will discuss closure property of addition of the real number. It says that the sum of two real numbers is also a real number. Means from the set of real number, when we will take any two real number, for example 8 and 7.5, and when we add them, the sum becomes 15.5, and we can see that 8 is belongs to set of real number, 7.5 is also belongs to set of real number, and luckily 15.5 is also belongs to the set of real number. So this situation says that all the three digits are belongs to the set of real number. So set of real number has closure property with respect to addition. Now the closure property with respect to multiplication. As we have already discussed in the addition, by taking any two element of the set of real number, when we multiply them, so the product will also a real number. For example, 12 multiplied by 2.2, these two numbers are belongs to set of real number. As we have already discussed that all the integers and all the fractions are the part of the real number. So when we multiply both of them, the product becomes 26.4 and is also a part of the real number. So we can say that set of real number has closure property with respect to multiplication. And now how to apply these properties to solve the questions which normally arises in your examination paper. So one of the question I have taken from miscellaneous exercise 2, that is, which of the following sets are closed with respect to addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Means we have to check these four fundamental operations whether the given set has closure property for that or not, and we have to check for which sets. It is given in the question that N stands for natural number, Z means integers, Q means set of rational number, R means set of real number, and last two are set of even numbers and set of odd numbers. Now how to solve this sum, that how to find the closure property according to four fundamental operations. You can see here a table, and table is consist on 4 columns. So move to the first left column. It is for addition. How to check the addition property of the set of natural number. By taking any two elements from the set of the natural number, when we will add them, if the sum is also belongs to the set of natural number, so we will say that set of natural number has closure property with respect to addition. The example is here 1 plus 2. They both are the elements of the natural number. When we added them, we obtained the 3 as the answer. 3 is also belongs to the set of natural number. That's why we say set of natural number closed with respect to addition. Now check for the subtraction. In the same manner, by taking any two element from the set of natural number, when we will do the subtraction, so whatever we get the difference of that, if that difference is also belongs to the set of natural number, so we will say it is closed for the subtraction. But here you can see that 1 minus 2, the difference become minus 1. 1 belongs to the set of natural number, 2 is the element of set of natural number, and minus 1 is not the element of the natural number. It is belongs to the negative integers. It means all three numbers are not showing the same sets. So we say set of natural number has not closure property with respect to subtraction. Now multiplication. In the same manner, when we will take any two element of the set of natural number and we do the multiplication, if the product is also belongs to the set of natural number, then we will say the set of natural number has closure property with respect to multiplication. In this situation, 1 multiplied by 2, the product is 2. So all three numbers are belongs to the set of natural number. So we will say set of natural number is closed with respect to multiplication. Now how to check the division? By taking any two element like here 1 divided by 2, when we do this division of the natural numbers, we obtain the quotient as 0.5. What do you think? 0.5 is belongs to the set of natural number? Exactly, you are right. 0.5 is belongs to the set of rational number. So can we say that set of natural number is not closed with respect to division? In the same manner, we can check any of the set regarding closure property of four fundamental operation by taking two of the elements from that set, do the operation and find the answer, check that whether it is belongs to the given set or not. So we will conclude easily. Now the commutative property, again commutative property with respect to addition as well as with respect to multiplication. Means in addition, commutative property with respect to addition, we can add any order by taking any two element of the set of real numbers, and if we add them by changing their position, do you think there will be any impact on that sum? For example, 3 plus 5 will be equals to 5 plus 3. So what will be the answer of 3 plus 5? It is A in left hand side. What will be the answer in right hand side? This is also A. It says that when we add any two real numbers, so by changing their position, there will be no change in the answer or the sum. Similarly, commutative property with respect to multiplication, by taking any two element of the set of real numbers and we multiply that by changing their order. So is there any possibility of getting the different answer? You may check this by taking your own examples of the real number. Here I will discuss 2 multiplied by 6. It would be 12. And what do you think 6 multiplied by 2? Obviously it is also 12. So we can say that set of real number, the property of commutative property of multiplication means by changing the order of the numbers, there will be no change in the product. Now associative property with respect to addition. In commutative property, we deal with the two numbers, only difference is that. In associative property, we deal with the three numbers or the three elements of the set of real numbers. So you can see that A plus B plus C is equals to A plus B plus C. Means we are adding three elements of the real number, and by changing their group of the addition, what do you think the answer will be changed or not? So just solve it and check. Okay, good. You are exactly right. We are having the same answer on both sides. So this is called associative property of addition. Now associative property of multiplication. As we have already discussed that three elements discussed in the associative property. So as we use in the addition, so in the multiplication also, when we multiply the three elements of the set of real numbers, and by changing their group of arrangement, there will be no any change in the product. So here we are having 2 multiplied by, inside the parenthesis there is 5 multiplied by 3. So first we solve the parenthesis, it become 5 multiplied by 3, it is 15, multiplied by 2, that is 30. On the right hand side, 2 multiplied by 5 and 3 is outside the parenthesis. So first we solve the parenthesis, it becomes 2 multiplied by 5, that is 10, and multiplied by 3, it is 30. So in both aspects we are having the same answer. So associative property deals with the three elements, whether we are working on addition or multiplication. Okay, 0 is the additive identity of an integers, right? Or we may say that in a set of real number, there is one of the element is that which has no impact on addition or subtraction to any of the digit. Which number is that? Right, that is 0. Because when we add 0 to any number, do you think there will be any change in that number? Right, no change, because 0 don't create any impact on addition or subtraction to the other number. So examples are showing the same thing. Minus 7 plus 0, there is no change in the value of minus 7, it is still minus 7. And 0 plus 9, again 9 is 9. So by adding the 0 to any of the real number, there will be no change. That's why 0 is called the additive identity of the real numbers. Identity property of multiplication. Okay. A number multiplied by 1. Okay. Do you have any experience of that when you multiply any minute number or a huge number by 1? What is your experience? Okay, good. You again get the same number by multiplying with the 1. If you multiply 250 by 1, the answer is 250. If you multiply 20,000 to the 1, the answer is 20,000. So means 1 has a special character from the set of real number that it don't create any change in the given number by multiplying it with that number. That's why 1 is called multiplicative identity of the real numbers. Additive inverse property. Okay, what is this? If you remember in your mind that the set of real numbers consists on all the types of numbers, integers, decimals, every type of decimal. So means whatever the number will exist in the nature, they belongs to the set of real number. So the sum of any number and its inverse is 0. Means x plus minus x, that is 0. For example, 7 plus minus 7, what do you think? Good, it is also 0. Why it becomes 0? Because 7 positive, 7 step forward, minus 7 means 7 step backward. So where you are? You are at 0. So all the numbers, when we add them to any two numbers from that, if the answer is 0, if the sum is 0, it means that two numbers are additive inverse of each other. For example, 2 and minus 2, plus 3 and minus 3, minus 7 plus 7, because when we add them we get the sum as 0. So these are the additive inverse of each other. Inverse property of multiplication. The inverse property of multiplication states that the product of any number and its multiplicative inverse is 1. It is easy to understand that inverse property of multiplication. For example, we have a sum of multiplication. We multiply that two numbers, that two fractions, and if answer is 1, so we will say that two fractions are multiplicative inverse of each other. For example, when we multiply 4 over 7 by 7 over 4, you can see while doing this multiplication, 7, 7 and 4, 4 will cancel out each other because 4 is in numerator, 4 is in denominator, 7 is numerator, 7 in denominator. They all will be cancelled out and the answer will be 1. In next example you can see 2 upon 3 multiplied by 3 upon 2 is equals to 1. Due to the cancellation property, reduction is possible. So when we have two fractions or the two numbers whose product is 1, so we will say that these two numbers or these two fractions are multiplicative inverse of each other. Now the properties of a equality of real numbers. In textbook content, if you will go through, there are different properties are given. So from that properties, we have selected transitive, reflexive and symmetric properties. What these are, we are discussing one by one. Reflexive property of the equality. What is equality? Equality means that equations having sign of equality, the mathematical statement in which sign of equality is being used. So reflexive property is saying that A is equals to A. What does mean by A is equals to A? Keep in mind we are discussing set of real numbers. So A is showing any of the element of the set of real number. It says that any value is equals to itself. Okay, it is easy. 9.1 is equals to 9.1. Do you think 9.1 will be equals to some any other number? No. 2 is equals to 2. 100 is equals to 100. We can't say that 100 is equals to 105. So equality sign become wrong. So every element of the real number is equals to itself. This property is called reflexive property of equality. Now the symmetric property of equality, that is when we are working on the two elements, two quantities, and if we are saying that A is equals to B, the two quantities having sign of equality, then ultimately we can say that B is also equals to A. For example, if 9 is equals to C, it means C is equals to 9. 9 is representing the value of C. So when the two quantities are equal to each other, so they both are equal by maintaining the sign of equality. So this is called symmetric property of equality. Transitive property of equality. If A is equals to B and B is equals to C, then ultimately A is equals to C. Here we will deal with the three quantities. If my quantity is equals to my fellow quantity and my fellow has the same quantity with his friend, so we can say that my quantity and the friend quantity are the same, they are equal. For example, 27 is equals to A, B is equals to 27, then B is equals to C. If A is equals to B and B is equals to C, it means A is also equals to C. After discussing all these properties, it will be better if we discuss some objectives. Read these objectives carefully. You have to fill in the blanks. This is all from the discussed content. So 25.01 is dash decimal fraction. I will not tell you answer. You have to identify the answer. The book is with you and the lecture is with you. So follow that and fill it. Number 2 is 0.090909 dot and 0.3333 are dash decimal fractions. You have to identify the type of these decimal fractions here. Objective number 3 is additive inverse of root 3 is. Recently we have discussed the additive inverse, so it is not difficult to find the answer of this. Just recall your memory, go through the session again and again, you will find the answer. Fourth one, multiplicative inverse of x is, when we multiply the two numbers and the product is 1, so that two are called the multiplicative inverse of each other. So it is easy to find what will be the multiplicative inverse of x in this situation. X is equals to x is dash property. Just identify the name of the property for the element of the real number. As we have discussed, 2 is equals to 2. So this property is named as, you have to write here. Number 6 is x is equals to y and y is equals to x. Identify the name of the property. 7.1 x is equals to y and y is equals to z, and ultimately x is equals to z. So this property is named as, just we discuss this one, so it is not difficult to find the answer of this blank. Number 8 is, just read it carefully what is the statement is saying. Because minus 64 is equals to 8 multiplied by minus 8. Correct? Minus 64 can be written as 8 multiplied by minus 8. Therefore, root of minus 64 is equals to minus 8 is dash statement. Means you have to identify here true or false, right or wrong, correct or not correct. This type of answer will come here. But you have to go through the statement again and again, try to understand it, and then mention your answer. Do this. Good. Hopefully you have completed that objectives. I am also sharing the answer of these. You have to match with your answer. If there is any mistake, okay, do rectify that mistake. And if you are doing all that correct, then good, excellent. You are a good student. So then the first blank, they will be terminating. In number 2, it is recurring. Number 3, minus root 3, because we are discussing the additive inverse. Number 4, 1 over x or x to the power minus 1, it is showing the multiplicative inverse. Then number 5, property is called reflexive property, because A is equals to A. Number 6 is symmetric, because we are dealing with the two quantities, x is equals to y and y is equals to x, so it is symmetric property. Number 7 is transitive property, where we have discussed the three elements and they have the relation of equality. And the last one, this is very important, it is false. If it is not clear to you that why this is false, so make the identical factors inside the radical and take out the value of that. Then you will see why it is false and why not it is correct. Come to the home task. Do fill in the blanks in your fair copy, which we have recently shared with you in this slide, and develop at least 10 objectives in the form of MCQs from pages 26 to 33. MCQs are very important because in examination paper you have observed that the question arises in the form of MCQs. And do question number 1 of exercise 2.1 in your fair copy. This is all from my side, and today's teaching is going to be end. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.